Hi everyone, it's Christy from Green Eyed Tarot. Today I am filming just a quick video introducing some new decks that I have brought into my tarot and oracle library. So a little bit of a haul, a mini haul of decks, if you will, that have joined my tarot collection and oracle. I think there's one oracle deck, and then I just have a couple of books. So kind of a deck and book mini haul, if you will, from I guess probably about the last couple of months. So just introducing you to some of the things I've brought into my tarot library over the last couple of months, things that I'm pretty excited about using, and some decks that I am looking forward to using within the next couple of weeks or so. So let's get right into it. It's a mini haul. Let's see the decks that I have brought into my collection. So the first one we'll start with is the Good Fortune Tarot. So this is by Barbara Moore, illustrated by Jessica Rue, who did Woodland Wardens. Big fan of Jessica Rue. I have like mugs with her art on it. I have a welcome mat with her art on it. I'm a big fan of Woodland Wardens. It's one of my favorite oracle decks. So when I saw this was coming, I knew that I probably definitely wanted to have it. And Barbara Moore, another wonderful deck creator, she wrote the guidebook for Tarot of the Hidden Realm, pretty much my favorite deck of all time. So it's kind of a no-brainer. I really like this. So these big boxes from Llewellyn, right? It's your standard, I think that's standard Llewellyn size, but the box is not shiny. It's like almost a linen finish. Interesting. Just thought that was interesting. So your typical, again, Llewellyn like big box deck. Your cards don't do anyone any good closed away in their box, even if they are wrapped in silk. Simone Benoit, The Rules of Fate and Destiny. So it's true. They don't do any good wrapped staying in their box, right? So this is the guidebook. I love that it's edged in this really like pretty matte blue color. So kind of love that. Like the just subtle differences from some of the other big box Llewellyn decks. So this is the Good Fortune Field Guide. So of course it's filled with these beautiful full color images. So if you're familiar with any of the Llewellyn bigger box decks, you know, this will look very familiar. But again, it's written by Barbara Moore, so it has lots of great insight in it. So I look forward to usually I tend to read these cover to cover. I like how there's the numerological sort of information. So there's pages just devoted to like, this is the fours. So talking about numerology. So I do love that. I like that layer. I like when guidebooks bring in that layer. But yeah, it's a really beautiful book. Again, looking forward to reading it. I tend to read these kind of cover to cover. I usually read those cover to cover. So I haven't used this deck yet at all. Here's the backs. Again, this beautiful blue. It is linen. It is, I guess, on their Llewellyn's version of linen cardstock. It's interesting. The backs feel smooth and the front feel like they have the linen embossing. So that's interesting. It's like a different experience when you're touching the backs. But again, I haven't used this deck yet, so it's in order. But anyone familiar with Jessica Rue's art, you can definitely feel, you know, her style, her creativity coming through in the deck. So it's a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. But it is, I'm really looking forward to using it. I feel it's giving me almost like Everyday Witch Tarot. I want to pull that out and actually use this. I was thinking of pulling that out and using the Everyday Witch Tarot with this deck. Another Llewellyn big box deck, but just I feel like the Everyday Witch Tarot, like it doesn't get as much play right in my tarot practice, but I feel like combining it and pairing it with this, I feel like that's going to be a good idea. But I really like the art style. I really like the imagery. looking forward to getting into the guidebook to see some of the choices. But Jessica Rue's art is really whimsical. There's something really whimsical about it, and the backs are even reminiscent of Woodland Wardens. What the Woodland Wardens look like. The backs. These are just blue, but I love all the blues. I definitely am loving the color palette. I like the blues. The backs, again, with the blue and like the golds. I really like that. The US Games did that with the Fyodor Pavlov. I love that combination. Sort of these different shades of blue. But the blue, this specific color blue in particular, I just really, really find it appealing. Like even in this 10 of Swords card, which is, not an easy card, but just something about these shades of blue. Anyone who has this deck can chime in on the shades that are used. It's just very appealing. Like my eye is drawn to the blues used. So that's the Good Fortune Tarot. Another, beautiful, I think, really nice deck created by Llewellyn. And again, the people involved in it are ones that I am familiar with. So really looking forward to using that. So Good Fortune Tarot. So the next one that came into my collection recently is the Fantasy Garden Tarot. So this is a tarot deck from Ukraine. So the artist is Ukrainian. And I was really surprised at how fast it shipped and it got here. I was really impressed with the shipping on this, especially from what we know is going on in that country. I just was amazed at that. But Dmytro Ryzak, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the artwork is by Dmytro Ryzak, printed by Pentagram Publishing. So it did come directly from the Ukraine. The cool thing about this deck is it was created using ballpoint pens in 8 colors. Just 8 colors and all ballpoint pens. These are the backs. They're really nice. The deck is glossy a little. I don't mind. I like having decks with different textures. I think I've talked about this before. I don't want all of my decks to feel the same way and to look the same way and even smell the same way. Deck sniffers, hello, I'm looking at you. I don't want that same sensory experience. I want different experiences for my deck, so definitely don't mind the glossy. But this deck I love how soft the artwork is, almost like a blurried effect because of the creation using the ballpoint pens. But I find it so interesting that only 8 colors were used, and just what kind of magic can be done with just 8 colored, ballpoint pens. It just amazes me. It blows my mind. But so again, very Rider-Waite Smith to me, Rider-Waite Smith clone. I don't know if I would say, I guess a Rider-Waite Smith clone or Rider-Waite Smith adjacent, definitely. But I love, like I said, how soft the colors are, and that sort of fuzziness to it. It really does kind of feel like a fantasy, and of course it's fantasy garden, so we see in a lot of the cards you see these lush type of garden environments, which obviously lends itself to the theme of the deck. But like I said, I think it's magical what can be done with just 8 ballpoint pens. I find it amazing. And, in the land of AI created decks now that we see ourselves in this technology assisted, I just really appreciate, this hand-drawn, aspect of this deck. And again, I really love, I feel like the camera doesn't really pick up and appreciate the lines and just the blending of colors, because only having 8 colors, right? I'm sure there was a lot of blending going on to get different colors. But, and this, I like this, look at this Hanged Man, the underwater garden. So now we're not just thinking about above ground, but now sort of this beautiful lush garden that's under the water, at that different perspective, right? We're not above, now we're under, we're kind of seeing what's underneath. So I love that you know, that imagery for the Hanged Man and that perspective. I don't know, something about it. And I like the giant size cups. I like how the elements and the suits are being represented by these cups that are just really like in your face, and like how the like the figures and stuff are a little smaller. I don't know, I can't describe it, but it has a really unique feel, I think. And like I said, I think the artwork is definitely beautiful. Look at this Hermit card. And again, just appreciate the talent and the skill that goes into working with ballpoint pens. So that's the Fantasy Garden Tarot, and it is a deck from, like I was saying, the Ukraine. It's from Pentagram Publishing. I'll try to link everything in the description box, but if you go to Pentagram Publishing, you should be able to find it. I believe it's definitely still available for purchase, seeing as I got it recently. But yeah, this is one that I think has been out for a little while. I've definitely seen it on other people's channels. Tara from Tara is Cozy, I believe, definitely has this deck. I remember her using it for one of the capsule card collections, I believe. So Fantasy Garden, I really like it, especially for this time of year. It feels appropriate for this time of year. So another deck that I got recently is in this bag here, this beautiful bag. I'm so happy that I have a deck to put in this beautiful bag. I wonder if anyone can figure out what this is in here. But this is the Sistine Tarot. These are the beautiful backs. So this is an independently published deck by a member of our tarot community. On Instagram, she's Rose Bay Tarot. They're Rose Bay Tarot. I'm sorry, I don't know their pronouns, so I'm just going to say they, because I'm not entirely sure. I should have checked before. I'm usually pretty good about that. But so Rose Bay Tarot is the creator. And this is just a gorgeous, amazingly beautiful collage deck. I love the titles of the cards in the different fonts. It is linen cardstock. And I apologize. I believe the deck is out of print now. I do not believe there is going to be another print run of these. The creator also included zodiac cards. So here we have Cancer, Scorpio. But it is magnificent. I love the choices, you know, that the creator chose. It's been so interesting getting to know this deck and using it in practice, pairing it with different decks. That's been really interesting. But I do love how the titles are like all different. So we're using different fonts, but they're also, you know, very different from card to card. And it's just gorgeous. The cardstock is amazing. It's so shuffleable. Such a great cardstock. But yeah, truly just really beautiful. The imagery that was chosen, the way the collage was put together. I'm really enjoying like a collage deck like this that's like not too cluttered. Like the collage is there, but there's still space, if that makes sense. Like it really is like, to me, kind of striking that perfect balance of collage and but also like that uncluttered collage, and the intentionality of it. I mean, all collage decks are intentional as the creators are making them. I'm pretty sure there's lots of intentional choices. This deck just feels like it has the space. It's to me, it's very uncluttered, but beautiful. and the collage elements are evident. So this is the Sistine Tarot by Rose Bay Tarot. Again, I believe it is out of print. I apologize for that. I don't think it's going to be available, but I am very thankful that I have it, and I'm able to use it, and I love this. I like this bag for it. I think it's a good match for this bag. Okay, so another new deck, which is also found a lovely bag match, which I did a walkthrough of this deck, so this is going to be very familiar. I recently did a walkthrough, like pretty much immediately when I got it. So that's the bag, and this is Tarot of the Huntress. Amazing, 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 amazing deck. Created by Kara Small. Forest Moon Maiden on Instagram. Her shop is Chthonic Forest, I believe. Chthonic Forest is her shop. I think that that's correct. Again, I'll try to link everything in the box below. These are the backs. Like I said, just did a walkthrough of this. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time, although I easily could because it's such an amazing deck. I thought I couldn't love, like I love the creator's other deck, Tarot of Persephone's Garden. I didn't think I could love like another deck more that has a similar feel, but this deck is, oh my gosh, has just captured my heart. So Tarot of the Huntress, an ode to the archetypal energy of the goddess Artemis in all of her forms, and relating to her myths tied to the goddess Artemis. Again, I have an entire walkthrough of this deck, so I will link that as well if anyone's interested, but it is just perfection in my eyes. The moon imagery, Artemis being a moon goddess, obviously that wild feeling, the goddess of the wilderness, of the wild hunt. So just spot on in terms of its energy. And I talked about, in my walkthrough, I talked about just the imagery, the many like dogs that are just animals in general, but dogs that are in a lot of the cards that just lend to this feeling of protection and loyalty. And then the imagery with the children as I connect to Artemis as a protector of children, children's safety. So it's just the archetypal energy in all of her forms, really, and all the ways that we connect to Artemis as a goddess. So just absolutely gorgeous. The cardstock is amazing. Definitely will link information to the shop because this is still available, I believe. So snag it if you feel inclined, if this is something that, if you enjoy curated art decks, and this one is such a specific energy to it. Oh, look at this Queen of Fire. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we'll leave it on that because I could just go all day. But that's Tarot of the Huntress. Amazing. Amazingly beautiful deck by a member of our very own tarot community, Kara Small, Forest Moon Maiden. Definitely check it out if you haven't. All right, so I have one tarot left and one oracle. So I will do the newest deck to my collection, and that's the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic tarot. This is by Callie Little, Maria Seal. I think this is published by Potter Books. Let me just look. Yes. It says Potter, Clarkson Potter Publishers. So yes, it is a mass market deck. Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic. So, like, again, this is the newest deck to my collection, I believe, out of this little set of decks that I'm featuring. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Carl Jung. So this deck is in order because, again, it's brand new. One of the things that I really like about this, the guidebook that comes with it, is the fact that the creators included a crystal to channel the vibe, mood music to go with it, and a make sense section. So what's a scent that could be connected to the energy of this card? So this is the moon, and it says cold waterfalls on mossy rocks. It also has the numerology association. So such a little concise part, but so much information. So I do love that. Anytime this is going to connect to my senses, again, talking about that sensory experience. So listening with my ears to music and thinking and imagining smells, or even just smells that I have that I could expose myself to connect more to that card. And then the crystal, like I might have a crystal in my, in my possession that could connect. I love it. Another layer, another way to connect. So I think that that's fabulous. The other thing about this deck, it is a little bit larger, so it's more oracle size. Another thing is that I'm not a big fan of animal decks, right? I don't have a lot of decks that are just animals. I have very few. I don't use them that often. I use them in really specific ways. But something about this deck is like right up my alley in terms of the animal energy. I can't explain what it is. I don't know why it was like such a, I immediately wanted to get it. But look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this raccoon. Sorry, but he's the cutest thing. Something about the way they're depicted. I love that the cards are in color and the animals are in this sepia tone that match the borders. I don't know. I like the borders. I think it frames the art really well. I don't know. Something about it, like I said, with this animal energy is me. It's the kind of animal deck that I would choose, and I don't use them very often. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know this, and kind of pairing it again, find pairings that I think will be good. And then diving into that guidebook. Look at this hermit card. Look at him just hiding his little face. I can't. But yeah, diving into the guidebook and making a playlist. I love playlists. I love having playlists to go along with my decks. Does anybody else do this where they make playlists? I have one for my Witch Sister Tarot. And then the Outlaw Oracle is another deck that comes with songs suggestions. So I have an Outlaw Oracle playlist. I'm trying to think what else. Dreamkeeper's Tarot. I make playlists. So maybe I'll make a video about that because I make playlists for a lot of my decks. So this is going to be really fun, exploring some of the music, because I feel like some of it I've never heard. So it'll be a nice introduction to new music. I love this devil card. The scissors and the chains. Love it. I have to find my favorite card. My favorite card in this deck is the Six of Wands. So I'm going to flip until... Oh, look, we're almost there. Probably my favorite Six of Wands is this pig with his ribbon on it. His little, county fair ribbon. I absolutely love this. When I saw this card, I was like, yes, I'm so thankful I got this deck. This is, maybe one of my favorite Six of Wands cards ever. Look at him just as proud as he can be with his county fair ribbon on. So, yeah. So this deck is really, like I said, it's really cool. I like it. Haven't used it yet, but what I've seen so far and what I've read in the guidebook, I like it. Look at the Six of Cups with this bear family. Reminds me of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Look at the little sleepy bear. So I really do like the use of the animals and the way that they're used. Look at these frolicking foxes. They're so happy. So yeah, this is the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic Tarot. Ooh, look at that. The sly fox, right? Seven of Swords. I just like it. I love the backgrounds, like again in color, and then this the animals sort of like in this sepia tone. It's cool. Look at the ant. Look at this. Holding up that big sword. It's little tiny, right? Like small but mighty. Love the thinker. Look at this too. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, every little thing you do is magic. Tarot. It also comes with this really cute little card stand that you can like fold and use as a card stand. It's really cute. It's a really cute touch, I thought. But the guidebook again is like something I'm really looking forward to. So that's great. So that's the last tarot. The only oracle deck that I've gotten, yeah, this is the only oracle deck, is the Portraits of a Woman, Aspects of a Goddess inspirational cards. This is a Lo Scarabeo deck. But it's really, I really like it for affirmations. So this being an affirmational type oracle deck for me. So these are the backs. It's matte. It's nice. It's matte cardstock, pretty standard oracle size. But I like this for affirmations. I don't even really need the guidebook. It's nice to have read the messages in the guidebook, but I am confident. I am daring. So really just thinking about my work with goddess energy and the fact that my spirituality is wrapped up in that. I am patient. I am sexual. So just thinking about the different archetypes and how they come through different goddesses. And I think of the deities that I work with. So it's interesting to take this deck and then just try to think about, well, what's a goddess or a deity that I connect with that is embodies the energy in these affirmations. I am grateful. I am independent. So I think of I am independent, just off the top of my head, the way that I work with certain, I am independent, I think of the Morrigan, and I think of certain aspects in that way. I am assertive. Same thing, right? I am gentle. There's certain aspects of different goddesses that I connect with that have gentle energy. So a lot of times I am gentle. I think of Bridget because I connect with her in certain ways that are on that healing, or gentle, more gentle side. I am empathetic. So I love the messages. I am thoughtful. So we think of thoughtful as just being as wisdom. So just different goddesses that embody the archetype and that energy of wisdom. I am courageous. I am powerful. So this is just a really beautiful, like I said, affirmation type deck. I am adaptable. I love that for an affirmation. I am going forward, right? No looking back. I'm going forward. Self-sufficient. Beautiful. We need to tell ourselves I am beautiful every day. I am complicated. Ain't that the truth? I am happy sometimes. So sometimes, we need to be reminded that there's happiness. I am present is being mindful, being present. That's one that I am organized. No, not always. I try. I am relaxed. Oh my gosh. Definitely not always. But just as a way to try to connect with it, to manifest some of these feelings, even though it may be difficult. I am listening. So are my ears open? Am I listening to understand or am I listening to respond, right? I am quiet. I am focused. So I just think it's a really beautiful deck. I think the artwork is gorgeous. I love the colors. And I really like the messages. I am free. Competent. Basically going through the whole deck. Generous. I'm adorable. I mean, how often do we tell ourselves that? I am adorable. Calm. Spontaneous. I'm okay. Love it. reflective. That's another one I love. So yeah, so that's Portraits of a Woman, Aspects of a Goddess Oracle deck. I'm really liking it. I think it is an excellent addition to my practice, and just to pull like an affirmation for the day. I've been using it with some tarot decks, but it definitely is more of like an affirmational, type of deck for me. So that's it for decks. The only things like books in terms of, I'm not really talking about books I'm currently reading, just books that I've gotten in that I'm kind of excited about, is this beauty right here, which is the Color Mage Oracle Guidebook, which is amazing. A guidebook for understanding the mood of the universe in 108 colors. Bernard Charles is the creator of the Color Mage Oracle, Chroma Mystic, on Instagram. But this is amazing. It's a hardcover. I ordered the paperback, but I got a free upgrade. So amazing. I got a free upgrade to this hardcover edition because something happened with the paperback production, and I was automatically updated to this. So I paid for a paperback, but I got this lovely hardcover. It says, what is color therapy? What color can do for you? Why color readings matter? How to use the Color Mage Oracle. 108 color card interpretations, easy to follow card layouts. So amazing. I mean, if anyone doesn't know the Color Mage Oracle, it was re-released. I'm going to grab it. I have it right here. It was re-released in this new edition. So if anyone's not familiar with this, just for context with the book, and here is Bernard right here, the creator. So if anyone's not familiar, so here's the backs. Obviously the book matches. The cards are colors. It's 108 colors, and there is a key phrase. So I mean, it definitely can just be used intuitively. The way you connect with certain colors. Look at that blue, right? Look at this blue. It reminds me of the blue that I was talking about in the Good Fortune Tarot. Like, this is like almost like one of those shades of blue. Neptune. So you definitely can use the keywords: decisive action, eternal spring, cheerful love, sunset joy, pleasure, and laughter. So you definitely can use, love this, Legion, be a friend or ally. You definitely can use just the keyword, but I'm thrilled, and I know it was a real labor of love the creator, took in creating this guidebook, because it's the Color Mage Oracle has been around for a while now. So let's just take a card and let's read. How about that? How about we read? So this way, if you have this and you've been considering getting the guidebook, so let's look up Firefly Illumination. So number 23 is Firefly Illumination. So let's go to this beautiful new guidebook and let's look up Firefly. And the table of contents is, if you look, is introduction, and then you have root chakra. So you have the colors connected to chakras. So let me find Firefly, right? The solar plexus illumination is on page 60. I love that the pages are numbered. So here we have Firefly. So you can see about how much is written up for each card. I'm sure there's some differences. Some cards may have more, some cards may have less. But here we have Firefly is a holy light of all the color cards that appear in a reading because it indicates synergy and enlightenment. Knowledge is power. Awareness is ascension. The ability to be yourself is so powerful in your life and career right now. Through that presence, you radiate your natural luminescence. Firefly energy is not only a solitary dance with the divine, it sparks and makes you more attractive to find and communicate with your tribe, community, and platform. If you struggle to fit in or be seen as the best version of yourself, you can use this energy to detox your demons. This shows up in reading to consecrate your consciousness and help you integrate with a newly invigorated sense of belongingness in society. So, and then there's a little personal anecdote that the creator, includes, which I think is amazing because this is their creation And having that insight, gives you an idea into what their energy was, what their thoughts were. Why did they choose the colors they did and the keywords they did? What was their what was the purpose? Why, this gives meaning and intention. You see the intention behind the creation. So I think this is amazing, and I am so excited to actually have this now, because again, not just because of having meaning to the cards, but adding that added bonus of hearing the creator's own thoughts. And that helps me to connect with this deck even more. That's the real connection, the human connection behind the human that created this deck. I feel like that's the real connection there. So I'm really excited about having this book. I'm very thankful. The creator, Bernard Charles, is just a really lovely individual, and very compassionate and very open, and very kind. So I feel like that energy comes through this deck, and I'm sure that energy is going to come through in the book. So I can't wait to dive into that. Another book that I got is this very tiny little The Great Between, an Inanna devotional companion. This is by Molly Reamer. Molly's from Bridget's Grove. Molly's the creator of the 30 Days of Goddess practice, which I have participated in. I kind of have specific times of year when I really dive into that 30 Days of Goddess as a way to, like, of an intensive reconnection to the goddess. But this was just released. I got it right through their shop. So again, try to link everything down below. But as a way to really connect with the goddess Inanna. And this goddess in particular is really connected to other goddesses, just as many are, right? They start to blur between different cultures and different time periods. Inanna is a Mesopotamian goddess, I believe. Yes. And she's considered the great queen of heaven and earth. So I connect her to Lilith in many ways. So in my journey with Lilith recently, I came across this and I was just very excited. So it is just the way that Molly has designed her 30 Days of Goddess practice. This is it has 30 days, actually 31 days of devotions to Inanna. And then it also has a way to connect to Ereshkigal. Now, Ereshkigal is considered Inanna's sister in some myths and in within certain cultures. Ereshkigal being sort of the keeper of the underworld. So this is really a devotional about descent. So I really look forward to kind of diving into this, leading up into the descent into winter, that sort of descent into the dark, right? That dark half of the year. So that's going to be part of my practice leading up to that. The only other book I have to share, so that this video is not ridiculously long. This book I actually have had for a little while now, but I just love it so much that I kind of want to show it. So this is Card of the Day Tarot by Kerry Ward. The most exciting thing about this for me is the illustrations by Adam Ohlers. Adam Ohlers of the Oak, Ash, and Thorn, Smoke, Ash, and Embers, I believe the new Heartwood Tarot. So collaborator with Stephanie Burrows from Three Trees Tarot. He's a brilliant artist. I love his artwork. And I was so thrilled to be able to see some of his artwork in person at a local gallery, a gallery showing he had a few years ago. But this book is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to zoom in. The way that it can be used, obviously, to help with understanding readings. It's exactly what it sounds like, a card of the day. It's got a very concise, as it says, a quick and easy one-card tarot reading. So it's really made specifically for one cards. So it's pretty straightforward, basic. I think it's amazing for new tarot card readers. Again, his illustrations, I use this more as like a bibliomancy. So instead of pulling a card, I could flip to a card of the day and just get a really quick message, which I think is amazing. But again, it really is Adam's artwork that drew me into this book. I really love the contents, as I've gotten to know it, but if we look at some of the card images, who would like an entire tarot deck based off of what we see in this book? So here we have Justice. But you can see, so each Each card has an advice for right now, an affirmation, a reassurance, a life lesson, a challenge. Do this, don't do this. Who are we referring to? So here it says like Librans, people associated with justice, institutions, education. When, so it gives you like a when connection to the card. Fridays, late September through October. Is this a yes or no? I like how it says it's a pause button. Take a moment to think about what the right thing to do here is. So it's very quick, but again, think about like if you don't have a deck with you, or if you don't want to get a deck out, you don't have one, then just flipping, right? And using this as bibliomancy, you know, is amazing. But can we just appreciate the beauty and like lushness that is Adam Ohler's illustrations? So that's really the most exciting thing about it, but I really do like this, and I feel like it's a great starter, very quick and easy for new tarot readers who are doing just one card readings, because maybe you're not as comfortable connecting all the cards yet, right? This is not really a connecting the cards together type of book. It's exactly what it says, one card a day, one card tarot reading. So this is really helpful to get beginners comfortable and understanding the different connections, maybe connections to the zodiac, and adding layers of numerology, or the yes no, like is it a yes or no, and understanding those connections to the cards. So not only is it beautiful, but I think very useful. But again, the artwork, oh my goodness. So this is a beautiful book, quick and easy one card tarot readings, card of the day, Kerry Ward, Adam Ohler's. I've had it, like I said, for a little while, but it's just beautiful, and I wanted to feature it on the channel. So that's it. That's a little mini. I would say I tried to be mini, but as we're at 40 minutes already, I love how I never stick to trying to be concise. But that's it. A mini little haul, new stuff, a couple of books, just a chatty video about some new things that I got. So I would love to hear if you have any of these decks. Are you thinking about getting them? What's new in your collection? What have you brought in? What are you excited about? What books are you excited about? Anything new that you got in that you haven't read yet but you're looking forward to? Share it in the comments. I would love to hear it. Please consider liking this video, and if you haven't subscribed, I hope you do. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!